is the man who stormed through yesterday. Krzysztof Venska, 7th on the starting grid after a difficult qualifying, but he has the pace and the tenacity. And don't forget, he was arguably the MVP in making sure that Germany was able to seal the Nations Cup last year after the successes in previous years of the United States and the United Kingdom. So this is an opportunity knocking again. Now, what is happening with Moment Benamor? Why is he not moving up across? Now he is. So this is going to be a better start. Hopefully it's going to be good enough that we're actually going to be able to get a race start. This is much more neatly, tightly packed. It's much more organised. So as they come onto the tram lines this time, surely this is going to be third time lucky for a start. We're going to find out in 168. Let's race! Good start from the front end of the field. Benamor is going to have a little bit of pressure from Granvaux, who's trying to fight his way through on the inside line, but it's a great start for Mats Moy and Anwar Beral-Smith, the British Algerian, who's worked his way into third position once again. Nicely done as they skip their way through the first hairpin. Now they've got to try and keep it nice and tidy for the first chicane. Drivers trying to make moves or two. There's a spinner or two yet again, and it's caused pandemonium as we've got a driver right at the front. It's Oscar Cantu who ended up spinning at the first run to the chicane this time. Yesterday it was a big issue for Ricardo Baldon. This time it's Oscar Cantu that loses it, manages to get back into the race again, but dropping to the back.
And in all of that, it seems that Mats Mui has managed to take the lead, and that is now, it looks to me that is potentially Julien Granvaux who's behind him, and then
it's Yanguas still.
Yanguas, excuse me. Yanguas now falling to second. Anwar Beral-Smith making his way up into third, as we see Yanguas now going for a move up the inside of Mats Mui. Beral-Smith trying to follow him through, and that is now Esteban Yanguas straight back up into the lead within the space of a lap.
But look behind them in P4, it's Krzysztof Venska. The Germany's back on the warpath. He is not going to take too long to try and fight these three. He's taking Janssen with him as Granvaux has had a terrible start. He's stuck behind Benamor, and so they're running 6th and 7th at the moment as they hop their way through. Granvaux is actually in danger of losing out here to Adrian Kamphuis. Obviously his younger brother Ronan doing a fair job. Oh, we've lost a front fairing. A front fairing has come off in the chicane there. So who is it that's lost their front fairing in the mix there? It's someone in the midfield. I think that is the it might be Zastral, the 576. If that's the case, that is one of the key players in Germany's Nations Cup attack with a missing front fairing. We'll double check it as they come through, but it might well be the German Jan Zastral. That's devastating for the Nations Cup honours as Beral-Smith has a think about the move on Esteban Yanguas, with Venska now into third past Mats Moy.
It looks like the 589 board is about to be displayed. So the 589 in this instance, unfortunately, that looks like it is potentially Anta Chen indeed, who is about to be shown the technical flag.
Yep.
It is Anta Chen as all of the leaders make their way through the first sector. This should be the final time that Anta Chen circulates around the track. He will have to come back to the pits. That kart will not be permitted to take any further part in this race, as we see Chris Alcock on a charge with a 105 flat, really on the charge from 9th currently. Chris Alcock putting in a decent performance from 10th on the grid, as we can see there now. Indeed it is the 580, the 589 machine of Anta Chen. Unfortunate to be involved in that incident, and coming a cropper having come all the way from China.
Oh, big move from Moy. He's going to get on the inside of Venska. That's important because Venska's going to have a little bit hard work to do now on the inside as Anwar Beral-Smith takes the lead away from Yanguas. So Anwar Beral-Smith gets through on Yanguas, and at the same time Moy gets ahead of Venska. So Venska's not having as easy a run as he would like. Janssen's going to have a run on him down into turn 1 as well. Venska's going to have to go defensive here to keep Janssen at bay. So this is certainly not in the script for the German Krzysztof Venska. Down to 4th position as Beral-Smith leads the way here comfortably from Yanguas. But the Colombian is going to try again here to try and get his move on the inside. Meanwhile, all the time, Chris Alcock is finding fastest lap after fastest lap to try and bout through. Moy gets the move on Yanguas. So Mats Moy, the Dutchman, now in front of the Colombian, and that gives Anwar Beral-Smith some breathing room.
Well, that's exactly what Anwar Beral-Smith is going to be looking for, as we see him move up the inside. That's a fantastic manoeuvre there for position number 3. That's Christoph Venske making his way past Esteban Yanguas, doing a fantastic job. Petter Janssen also gets the jump on Moment Benamor, and they were followed up by Julien Granvaux, and then Chris Alcock behind him, trying to chase him down and make this into an even larger battle as they make their way through the final chicane. Once again, we don't see this in the seniors. The seniors are far too sensible, but the 168, they just want to be at the front for as long as they can. They don't really care about the checkered flag. They just want to have clean air up at the front.
Yeah, senior 168s are the centres of karting, aren't they? They see a gap, they go for it, and it really is amazing to see the aftermath as Benamor charges on the inside of Janssen in one of the toughest parts of the circuit, and Granvaux is able to pick up the pieces on it as well with a very tidy move. So Granvaux finds the move as Venske has found the inside line on Moy. Venske through in a second place, so he's bounced back quickly. Now he signals to Moy and Yanguas, come on boys, work with me, let's go after Anwar Beryl-Smith in the lead.
And this is music to the ears of Anwar Beryl-Smith, who in his previous appearances here in Valencia at the Nations Cup has had a torrid time. He's the only Club 100 driver to win races on more than one continent. He's done it in Europe, he's done it in Africa as well, I believe, and he's really showing his 4-stroke pace as he leads the pack towards the conclusion of lap number 5.
But here comes Venske, he's going to try again here. Beryl-Smith is going to protect to the inside line. Venske's setting him up as Beryl-Smith will get a slightly wider trajectory out of the hairpin. Venske can try and go for the bid here halfway round the lap. This is exactly what Venske wanted. He just wanted to take it one lap at a time, pick his moment, try and find a move around the outside of Beryl-Smith to then tuck in for a slow in, fast out exit out of the hairpin. Beryl-Smith runs a little bit ragged, tidies up the inside to defend, but he wants to back Venske into the path of Moy, Yanguas and Granvaux. Granvaux doing a good job to fight his way back into 5th position. Beryl-Smith having to take a much more defensive line through the right, through the left, through the right again, and this is where Venske can find his move on the inside. Beryl-Smith is trying to shut the door. Venske backs down. He doesn't want to lose that front fairing. Now he's going to draw level with him. No, he tucks back in, but he signals to Moy, come on, push me down the back straight. We can find this move on the inside in the chicane. He has a look at it, but Moy's not close enough to make it work. Into lap 7, will we get the move into turn 1? It looks like we could.
And Christoph Venske, the normally level-headed German, seems to be under a bit of pressure as we see Mats Moy nearly run onto the grass by Venske. Up the inside is a bit of hip and shoulder. They both keep it clean just about as we see Christoph Venske going for the move up the inside. Oh, a little bit of a clip on the front fairing. No love lost between the two, between the German and the Dutchman, as we see Mats Moy getting involved with Peter Janssen, Julien Granvaux getting involved in that as well. And here comes Chris Alcock trying to take the position away from Peter Janssen and succeeds.
This is no longer a tactical strategic race. This is a boxing match between Moy and Venske, the Dutchman versus the German. Venske thought he could play ball with Mats Moy, but the German has found his rival has gone rogue on him, and that's given Beryl-Smith a little bit of coverage. This is exactly what Moy needs. It's not what Venske needs at all. Moy doesn't want to play with the German at his game because he wants to gain points on him. So Moy is hoping that this will improve his chances. Venske down to 3rd. Contact further back. 2 carts go off into the tyre barriers further back. We're going to see 2 names drop out of the top 10. It's Moment Benamor and Chris Alcock. Chris Alcock was charging his way through beautifully there, and it's all come unstuck. They keep going, but it's disaster for Moment Benamor and Chris Alcock, who fall to 30 to 15. Venske now wrestles his way back over the curbs onto 2nd place past Mats Moy. Now it's just one man between him and a perfect score.
Well, first bloodshed of the weekend for the T4NC25, and unfortunately it's Chris Alcock, as we see a move now round the turn 10 through the 2nd sector. Anwar Beryl-Smith coming under increasing pressure from Christoph Venske. The level-headed German seems to be driving with an air of frustration about him, just trying to push through as best as he can. Beryl-Smith defensive to the inside as they come towards the end of lap 8. They will see the last lap board as they come across the line. Will Anwar Beryl-Smith get his Saturday off to the flying start that he was hoping for? Currently, this would leave him in a position leading the standings. Hard defence to the inside as we see up the inside. Oh my goodness, Mats Mui, there was no space, but he's tried to make some. Yanguas shuts him out unceremoniously as he gets a big hit on the side with Julien Gravo. Mats Mui tries
what
to
a
come
recovery!
again.
Moy is getting there into third position. Yanguas is not happy, having forced him off the road. Moy keeps his foot in and manages to get back into third place. Yanguas is furious as we've got a retirement on the home straight. It is Moment Benamor, and he's got some discomfort there to his right elbow. That's unfortunate for Moment Benamor, so hopefully he's going to be okay long term. But Granvo round to the far side, 3 wide off the turn, and there's contact again between Moy and Yanguas. That allows Granvo through. Someone's been fired off to the far side as a result. So it's Beryl-Smith versus Venska on the back straight, and it's going to be a tough one to call between them. Granvo has managed to sneak through into third position, but Venska may just have to settle for second place here. The battle for Senior 168 is on in 2025 as Beryl-Smith conquers Venska. That is one of the best victories of Anwar Beryl-Smith's career. They give each other the thumbs up. That was a great duel, but for Anwar Beryl-Smith, he will look back on that victory as one of the finest of his karting career. You don't beat Christoph Venska without having an immense amount of talent. He rose to the occasion and showed that the MVP German can be vanquished.
And the big winner in those last lap antics has to be Colin Munnelly, finishing in fourth, having been somewhat down the order towards the tail end of the top 10. Everything seemed to implode around him. I saw him, I think, check over his shoulder along the back straight just to make sure, actually, did that happen? But Colin Munnelly successfully piloting that kart to take the fourth place, and I believe that is a personal best finish at the Nations Cup for Munnelly.
I think our officials are going to need to find a way of keeping Moy and Yanguas separated when they come in, because there was some proper brutality between them across those last 2 laps. Moy forced wide by Yanguas out of turn 1, recovering on the grass and still slicing his way back into the chicane, and then they tangled again out of turn 10 and into 11 and dropped a long way back off the top 5. So there's a lot of interesting conversations to be had then between Yanguas and Mats Moy. Hopefully it's going to be civil, but there's certainly a lot of contretemps to unravel between those two. But what a battle, and well done, as you mentioned, to Colm Munnelly and Adrian Somoza, the Spaniard, to manage to break there into the top 5. Moy dropped to P6.